Good afternoon and welcome back to Bald Feather Bets, guys. We'll do a quick recap of NFL Divisional Round Saturday, yesterday, 2 games, and then lay out the plays for today for NFL Divisional Round Sunday. First, please make sure you're subscribed to the channel, notifications on so you know when we post, and then just interact with our content, like the videos, comment on them, share them around, anything you can do to help us grow. Never charge for the picks, just want to grow the channel. You guys have been a big part of that this year. I sincerely appreciate it, and let's keep this path that we're on. Okay, so yesterday, 3 units on both games. We had the Bills at plus 2.5 loss, and then we had the Seahawks at -6 win. So 3-3 push on the day. Bills, Broncos. So I'm going to touch on the controversial stuff first, but I'm just going to get that out of the way because that isn't what decided this game. The catch or interception. There's 2 ways that you look at this. So if you're in the backyard playing football with your friends, that's an interception 100 times out of 100. To football guys and anyone who's ever played, and you can go on X and you can take a look, that's an interception. It just is. In the NFL, where we've now created a window where we break every single play down frame by frame and apply the rules extremely literally to whatever play we're looking at, that's a catch. By every definition of the rule, that is a catch. It has nothing to do with, you guys know I'm pretty non-emotional about if you've been watching this channel long enough, I'm very non-emotional about refereeing or anything. Again, I'm getting ready to tell you that's not what decided the game. But that play was a catch. The receiver had possession, had knee, shin, everything down for actually quite some time, then came down on his hip, and then the defender takes the ball away. So is the right thing in terms of football play that will be ruled interception? Probably. Based on the way that the NFL has developed the rules and now developed this frame-by-frame replay style, it's a catch, and it's Bills 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line, probably going to kick a field goal to win the game. On the pass interference, I hated both calls. They'd been letting them play all game. You can go back to other plays in the game that pass interference was either as bad or worse, including the McCole Hardman right side of the end zone on the Bills' last drive to tie it to go into overtime. There were holdings that were not called. There was a lot of stuff that was not called. That I thought the refs did a pretty good job of staying out of it unless something was egregious, and they got really ticky-tack on those last 2. I don't understand. I hate that. I don't get why refs do that late in games after they've let teams play the whole time. I feel like they're afraid that the other team takes advantage of it, so they have to step in. But again, it's like on one hand, you don't apply the letter of the law on that catch interception and you let a football play win. And then on the other hand, you apply the letter of the law on those pass interferences, but you don't do it on other plays throughout the game. So at that point, you should have just let the football play win. Game would have been a lot more interesting if Lutz had a 55-yarder to win the game versus what was, I don't even know. I think it was closer than a extra point from prior to when they moved the extra point back, or as close. But what decided that game was 2 things. So you needed Josh Allen to be Superman, and he was, except for 4 turnovers and ultimately 5 turnovers for the Bills. First turnover was also big. Bills looking like they're going to go up 14-3 and kind of really take a hold of the game. James Cook fumbles, changes the whole momentum of the game, and then the next 4 turnovers were all by Josh. The massive one, though, was the window right before half and right after half. So Bills have a safety go down who was already the backup safety to Jordan Poyer, so now they're on their 3rd safety. He's in coverage on little Jordan Humphreys, gives up a touchdown right before the end of the half. The Bills and Sean McDermott make one of the worst decisions I've ever seen. They have the ball at their own 30-yard line with 18 seconds and no timeouts. And rather than just taking a knee and going in at half, They decide to run offense. Mathematically, your chances with no timeouts to actually get in field goal range and then get the clock, get everything stopped before you go into halftime is so low. And they took that risk. Then Josh Allen takes off for a scramble, is loose with the football. I don't know if he went to pitch it or if I don't think he went to pitch it, but his arm was just kind of in that motion, and it kind of looked like it. Fumble, Broncos pick it up, field goal before half, so there's 10 points. Come out of halftime, strip sack fumble on Allen, field goal, that's 13 points. So that should have either have been 3 points for the Broncos because they stopped the little Jordan Humphrey touchdown and ultimately forced them to kick a field goal, or that should have been 7 points for the Broncos because they get the little Jordan Humphrey touchdown, but then don't get the field goal before half, and then don't get the field goal coming out of half off the strip sack fumble on Allen. So, I mean, that is what decided the game in a game that went to overtime and was ultimately won by 3 points. If none of that stuff happens, Bills win that game in regulation going away. I thought it was pretty obvious that the Bills were a better team, but when you lose the turnover margin 5-1, very difficult to win in the NFL, especially on the road in the playoffs. Broncos losing Bo Nix. I'm certain we would have been on the other side of whoever was playing the Broncos next week. Now, with what I've seen the lines at, I think 4.5 or 3.5, depending on who they play in the next round, I'm certain we'll be on the Broncos getting more than a field goal at home. I know Jarrett Stidham hasn't played in a while, but that's, again, they juice lines too far for backup quarterbacks. Yeah, they just do. Okay, then Seahawks 49ers. I'm going to spend a whole lot of time on that one. That's an absolute blowout, obliteration. 49ers just didn't have any guys at this point. I testament to them that they made it this far. How they won that Eagles game, I'll never quite understand. But they just don't have any players, and the Seahawks are the best team in the NFL by every advanced metric that you can look at, except for maybe a few that would tell you the Rams are. But the Seahawks are so good, it's crazy. And the NFL is crazy, and the difference between like the Seahawks and the Raiders is a lot less than you would think. And we'll talk about that here in a second as we get into the analysis for Texans and New England. Okay, so first game, Houston Texans, New England Patriots. Lines either 3 or 3.5. Never went to 4, never came down to 2.5, really stuck at 3 and 3.5 the whole time. My model says 3.5. Most models I respect have said the line should be about 3.5. This total is at 40.5, meaning that this is going to be a very slim margin game. The Texans are without Nico Collins and now announced without Trent Brown. Trent Brown's their starting left tackle. For those who didn't know, I think everyone knows Nico, wide receiver. That's massive. This New England Patriots defense is better than you think it is. We're going to come to that. And the New England Patriots defense biggest weakness is wide receiver ones. They don't really give up anything else. They do give up yards and touchdowns and everything to wide receiver ones. So the fact that they don't have Nico and the fact that wide receiver 1 is now Christian Kirk, and you're probably going to trust Christian Gonzalez and Christian Kirk 9 times out of 10, that's a big hit for the Texans. Offensively for the Patriots, they're not the Chargers' offensive line, but they have struggled this year in ensuring that Drake May doesn't face pressure. Now, the reason that it hasn't hit him so bad, Drake May is third in EPA against pressure this year. So Drake May is an exceptional quarterback when facing pressure. A lot of that has to do with his mobility and just extreme accuracy and arm talent. He's bigger than you would think he is, and he's stronger and faster than you would think he is. When he was coming out in that draft, a lot of the people that I really trusted said he should go number 1 overall. I know Caleb should go number 1 overall. I think that's proving out this year. But Drake May is an exceptional quarterback. and there's a reason that he's either going to finish first or second in the NFL MVP award this season. The New England Patriots are the only team in the NFL that rank in the top 5 of my 2 favorite categories. One is points per play, and the other is defensive points per play. New England Patriots are the only team that is in the top 5 of both. This New England Patriots defense is better than what you think it is. And I tend to look at statistical things like this a lot more in the playoffs because we have a full season sample size on both the teams that are playing. And yes, New England has played a last place divisional schedule. But again, this isn't like college where you're comparing the Wisconsin Badgers schedule to the Tulane Green Wave schedule. Like everybody played an NFL schedule, and like I just said, the difference between the Raiders and the Seahawks is a lot less than what you would think it is. NFL has a way of making sure that there's an extreme amount of parity in the league, and they've done a very good job of that. I initially, most throughout the week, liked the Texans here due to the 40.5 point total and the fact that I thought there was going to be an opportunity for us to get 4, and it never came. As today has gone on, and I've gotten deeper and deeper and deeper, starting last night and then this morning into the analysis, I like the Patriots at -3. I think the ultimate decider for the Texans could be if C.J. Stroud plays a very good game, but that's not something that I'm willing to foresee in a road divisional game outdoors, cold weather. I'm just not. He has struggled. He struggled mightily against the Steelers. This Patriots defense, while maybe doesn't have quite the same pass rush that the Steelers had, is a better overall unit. And being down Trent Brown and being down Nico for this game against a Patriots team at home with Vrabel as the coach, Christian Gonzalez on the outside, I'm not going to bet on C.J. Stroud having an exceptional game here. On the other side of things, the Texans are really going to need their defense and special teams to win this game. I don't necessarily think people are quite understanding how big of a deal it is that the Patriots have Ramondre Stevenson back. Having both Henderson and Stevenson healthy has taken so much heat off of May at any point in the season where he's had both of them. And they get into this mode where it isn't quite as daunting as the Bills offense when you have them in 3rd and 4th and short, but they're one of the best teams in converting 3rd and 4th and short. Because it doesn't make sense. They're one of the best 3rd down conversion teams because they continuously are getting in 3rd and 4th and short. But in the red zone, the Patriots aren't very good. I think that has a lot to do with their number one Diggs not really being a red zone threat, and they don't have a true elite red zone pass catcher. But Stevenson is absolutely a red zone back. The injury situation, the home field advantage, and C.J. Stroud playing outdoors on the road in January is why we like the Patriots here. So we're taking the Patriots -3, and we're going to do that one for 3 units. Okay, Rams and Bears. If you guys have been following me all year, you know exactly where I'm going here. So the line is either at 3.5 and 4. You had massive variation throughout the week. Got anywhere from 3.5 to 4 to 4.5 to 5, and now it's come back down today with a lot of money rolling in on the Bears at home, especially with just kind of the way the playoffs have gone. The Los Angeles Rams are, by most advanced metrics, the second best team in the NFL. By some, the best team in the NFL. What is clear is that the top 2, the Seahawks and the Rams, are almost double in advanced metrics the number 3 team. The Rams have the most efficient offense in the NFL, one of the most efficient offenses in NFL in the past 3 or 4 years. And they excel in play action pass. The Chicago Bears are the worst team in the NFL at defending play action pass. They're one of the bottom defenses in the NFL. The only thing the Chicago Bears do is force turnovers. The Rams with Matthew Stafford this year are one of the least turnover-prone offenses in the NFL. They possess the ball at the highest margin in the NFL over their opponents. And Sean McVay is the best head coach left in the playoffs. There was a debate between him and Kyle Shanahan. There is no debate between him and anyone else. This is a Rams win. This is a Rams blowout unless something crazy happens. There's absolutely zero way I'm fading the Rams in this instance. They are a superior team. They're a superior coach team. They're superior talent. They have superior players at every single position across the field. They're more experienced in playoff situations. I don't give a fuck that it's 15 degrees in Chicago. That stuff is overrated anyway, especially for a team that is this experienced. And the stats on the Matthew Stafford cold weather game are just wrong. He's 5-1-1 ATS in his last 6 games played under 30 degrees, and I think he's like extremely dominant at Soldier Field. So Rams minus 3.5 for 3 units. We may add more on that one depending on what happens in the first game. If we do, we'll get at you with a community post on that. All right, thank you guys, appreciate it. Enjoy your NFL Sunday Divisional Round. We'll be back at you again tomorrow for the National Championship game pick between the Hurricanes and the Hoosiers.